I got movies, and I can make popcorn. Oh, well, that's okay. Let's watch Labyrinth and have some cheddar popcorn. A little buttermilk biscuit. Worth it! Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Esport David, and the boys of Boyfriend to Death have given me quite the runaround. Namely Strade. But in previous videos on my Patreon, I've gotten all of Strade's endings, I've gotten all of Lawrence's endings, and now I'm very curious about the Fox Boy Man, Ren, because his story goes beyond Boyfriend to Death and into The Price of Flesh. So in this video, or maybe a series of this video, I want to try to get all of Ren's endings, with the help of a handy-dandy walkthrough by Foxy Clock. Oh yeah, there's these guys, Vincent and Kane. I don't know. I think I'll leave it up to my Patreon if I'll see what these two guys are about. But right now we're here for Ren. And that's the only ending I've gotten. Ugh. Aww, the little picture didn't pop up last time when I got all of Lawrence's endings. Aww. Sweet. Actually, if the little skulls mean death, and the little stars mean survival, why do you survive most of Ren's? What could this mean? What could this mean that Ren is the one that keeps you alive the most? I don't know, does that make him better? Does that make him worse? But either way, I've got a long way to go. Boy! Come with me, I'll help you. Are ya? Well, yeah. Okay, so the first ending is called You Let Ren Take Care of You. Aww. Thank you for helping me. Well, of course. It's no problem at all. Anyway, now that you're up, I bet you're feeling hungry. Why don't I make you something to eat? Actually, I really should be leaving, baby. Uh-oh. I'm sure you can stay for some food. And we only just met. It's been so long since I've had anyone to cook for. Whoops, I'm rambling. I'll be just a bit. Sit tight. Oh, okay. Why does my ankle feel mysteriously heavy? I shifted in my seat and heard a soft clinking. What the? Oh! There was a huge chain on the floor. From the wall to my ankle. I was about to say something when I noticed something heavy around my neck as well. Oh yeah, I forgot about my new neck piece. I reached up. What is this? Got shock collar, yay! Some kind of collar? Or more like a neck-sized shackle. Where did Strade even get that? That looks too futuristic for him to have. I want to know, does anyone know, where did he get that? Did he make that? Is he some kind of tinkerer? Or are there some timey-wimey shenanigans that happened and he got that? Or what if that was put on Strade first by someone? What if Strade is just repeating the same cycle that he perpetrated with Ren? You know what, I don't know. We're here for the Fox Boy Man. I realized moments after that I'd yelled loudly at the discovery. I heard the quiet sounds in the kitchen stop. I stood up, grasping at the metal ring around my neck, not finding any way to open it. He returned to the living room leisurely, not seeming too concerned about my distress. What's wrong, Espoir? Oh, I don't know. Well, hey, why am I chained to the wall? Oh, there's no need to be worried, Espoir. I know it seems a little different. But just trust me, okay? We'll be best friends before you know it. Oh, I gulped and reached up to touch the collar around my neck. Ah, that. It's a little hand-me-down. How did Ren get it off? How did he outsmart Strade, by that matter? A gift from my new friend. If you want to be my friend, why would you do this? I'll be your friend. You don't have to put these things on me. I mean, yeah. I'd probably do that. I'd probably say that. You don't understand yet. Tch. He reached into his back pocket for something. Hey! I suppose we'll have to start right away with your training. What? Ah! Quit it! Stop! Wow! I wavered on my feet. It felt like I was being punched all over at once. But now it's completely gone. It looks like it still works, huh? 1,000 things went through my head at once. I may have said it before. He put some sort of electric collar on me. Where does someone even get something like that? What did he mean by training? Is he crazy enough to kill me? How can I get out of here? These questions and more, probably never answered. I couldn't focus. I just stared at him, still desperately grabbing the collar. All right, let's try test number 2. I tensed up. Sit. Hey, please stop. I didn't want to let him see me starting to shake. Please. That's cute. But I said sit. Ah! Quit it! Stop! This time, it was a lot stronger. I coughed and shook. Then, without another word, I struggled to sit on my knees on the floor. There! That wasn't so hard, right? I had trouble thinking clearly. Did he want me to answer? Oh, I forgot about dinner. I better go check on those potatoes. Oh, we're having potatoes? Never mind. He left the room quickly. I groaned quietly and climbed up into the chair. I guess I can use this time to think of a plan. I flopped back into the chair. Then I looked down to my leg and gave the chain a tug. The chain certainly isn't breaking. I heard the quiet sounds of cooking start again in the kitchen. The shackle on my ankle looked as indestructible as the collar on my neck. I heard the hiss of something in a skillet. I like cheesy potatoes, Ren. Just putting it out there. My eyes traveled down to the chain to the wall. That's starting to smell really good. I know, right? Maybe this kidnapped prisoner thing isn't so bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I shook my head. Concentrate. The wall. It's just a normal house wall. Yeah, get like a table leg or something. You could probably, knock it out of the wall. That's got to be the weak point. I stared for a while, contemplating if I should just get up right now. I don't think that's a good idea. He'd hear me, and he's still got that remote. Espoir! Ah! He's so quiet, with his teeny tiny fox feets. I've got your dinner. He held up a bowl of steaming potatoes and cut up meat. Ooh, a dog bowl. Hey! I am not dog. Oh. My gaze dropped as he put it on the floor. Eat it. I looked up and locked eyes with him. Well, walkthrough looks like we're gonna kick it. Well, pow! Even though it smelled really, really good. I wanted cheesy potatoes. I looked him straight in the eye and kicked the dog bowl. No. Fine. You can just go hungry then. All right. He quickly wiped his hands on his shirt. Maybe it's best that we just get you settled in. Give you some time to adjust. I just looked at him. What did he mean by settle in? To my surprise, he pulled out a small key and bent down to my shackle. Don't forget about your collar. I gulped, reaching up to touch it. I'm going to open this, but if you aren't good, I'll have to shock you. I nodded slowly. As long as he takes that off, I'm in a better position. It clicked open and fell to the floor. Wait, hold on. 1, I gotta scratch my nose, and 2, I gotta check the walkthrough. So also in Lawrence's ending somewhere, I figured out that if I go towards the door, the thing will still shock me, so that's good. Oh, well, looks like I gotta do that anyway. Well, looks like I am supposed to attack him. Attack him! Ah! He let out an inhuman growl as he dodged me. What, you brought this on yourself? You brought home a loose cannon. Ah! Worth it! Worth it! Then again, if I was actually being shocked, I probably wouldn't be talking so much smack. I fell to the floor. My bones. Ah! Still worth it! He was panting softly. Oh no, is he blushing too? Listen, guy. I laid motionless on the ground, letting out a half-choked sob. That wasn't a good idea, Espoir.
I know. That's why I did it.
He stood over me. I was just trying to show you your bedroom. Are you gonna come nicely now? I focused on the remote in his hand. Yes, okay. Good. Now get up. I had to brace myself on the chair. It still hurt. My muscles were on fire. He held my arm gently and guided me down a short hallway to a door. He swung the door open. A simple bedroom. No bars or chains or anything. I know it's kind of boring, but I didn't know what you'd like. Once I get to know you better, we can spruce it up. My eyebrows furrowed. It's nice. He lit up. I'm glad you like it. Oh, his heart got lighter. Just holler if you need anything. I'll let you get some rest. He slipped out of the door and closed it behind him, leaving me in the room. I could hear him walking away, but from what I could tell, he didn't lock it or anything. I looked over to the bed, touching the metal ring around my neck. He has to sleep sometime. Maybe for now, I'll just bide my time. I went to the window first. There didn't even seem to be a way to open it. Ooh. The glass looked too thick to smash with anything in the room. Not with that attitude! Outside, it's some rich-looking suburban neighborhood. Where the heck am I? The window was facing some fancy backyards. It looked like the kind of place that had a homeowner meetings, book clubs, and backyard barbecues. And Strade lived here? I explored the bedroom slowly. It was just like a hotel room. Nothing in any of the drawers. Clean-looking, clean-smelling. Now that I was thinking about it, the living room looked sort of unused, too. Or at least really new. What kind of person, Fox, lives in a house like this? I flopped on the bed, staring upward. I tried to go through theories in my head to make this make sense. The theories only grew more and more outlandish as I started to doze. At some point I wouldn't be able to remember. I fell asleep. I shifted on the soft bed. Waking up slowly, I began to wonder where I was. Then it all came flooding back. I flung myself up and off the bed. I looked to the window. It's morning. I walked quietly to the bedroom door, straining to hear anything. It's completely silent. I tried the doorknob. The door opened easily. Oh. Walkthrough says explore the house. Well, I'm not just gonna stay in here. I tiptoed into the living room where I was chained before. Still no sign of Ren. What is he doing all day? I looked around the room at my options. There's stairs to a second floor. Another door under those stairs. Then, of course, there's the kitchen. Maybe there's a weapon there. I looked towards the entranceway. Or I could just make a break for it. I already know that's not going to work, but the walkthrough says to leave the house. I've got to risk it. I'd be crazy not to. I walked quickly to the front door. About 2 meters from the door, I heard a shrill beep. Uh-oh. I stopped in my tracks. I think it came from my collar. Is that a warning? Walkthrough says approach the door anyway. Well, whatever it is. I can't turn back now. Sure you can. I took a few cautious steps forward. Ah! Oh. Ow. Maybe I shouldn't have did that. My head was buzzing. I struggled to climb back to my feet. I can't do that again. I heard a door open and a loud thump. Ren! I looked around quickly. I should get back to the bedroom. Should I? I ran as quickly and quietly as I could back to the room he left me in. I closed the door silently, my heart thudding. I don't think he noticed anything. I let out a sigh of relief before pressing my ear to the door. More thumps. Oh yeah, this is when he brings Lawrence in. Come on. Isn't this what you wanted? Who is he talking to? He was moving further away. I strained to hear him. Espoir! I jumped. Are you in your room? Come out here. I have a surprise for you. Yeah. I cleared my throat, realizing my voice was choked. Yes. I came out of the room slowly. Did you have a nice rest? I hoped he couldn't see me sweating. Yeah. Don't look at my health bar, Ren. Great. Well, come on. I've got everything set up in the spare room. He motioned me over to a door that I had assumed was for a closet. Check it out. I cautiously looked inside the dark room. My eyes adjusted to the darkness. Oh no! So how does this ending not end with me getting killed by these two? Well, how did you tie up Lawrence? How did you invited him in? How did you manage to tie him up? It was the other guy from the pub. You remember Lawrence? I just stared, astounded. Lawrence was going to be my new friend. But then you came along. Oh, so he was supposed to be the one in this collar. He grinned at the terrified man in the chair. It's weird how quickly things can change, isn't it? I gulped hard. And why is he here now? Ren flashed me a fanged smile. Then he reached for something behind himself. He revealed a knife. Before I could react in fear, he held it out to me. I want us to share something really special, Espoir. He couldn't be serious. I held the knife. You want me to hurt him? Oh, look at the fear in that man's eyes. I heard Lawrence's muffled whimper as Ren looked me over. Hurt him. Make him bleed. Cry. Kill him. But I don't wanna. The knife quivered in my hand. I considered the people in the room and the collar around my neck. Please don't make me. He's a sweet baby boy. Ren, I'll do anything else. Just please don't make me hurt anyone. Just don't have the stomach for it, do you? I shook my head. I guess it is asking a little much. You think? He held out his hand for the knife. You can watch me do it. Aw. Lawrence let out another whimper. Well, it says give Ren the knife, so here you go. Sorry, Lawrence, this ain't looking too good for you, buddy. I squeezed my eyes shut and surrendered the knife to Ren. I suppose I should be more flexible. He took the knife and moved behind Lawrence. He moved the knife gently against the skin of Lawrence's neck. I didn't think you'd be so delicate. I couldn't tell if he was talking about me or Lawrence. Probably me. But I didn't dare make a sound. Ren's arm moved suddenly, swiftly. Well, at least it was fast. He plunged the knife into Lawrence's arm. Ugh. He lurched forward with a muffled scream. His little eyes are glowing. Ah! Ren looked up at me excitedly. His eyes seemed more like an animal's now. I just kept watching, frozen in fear. He was breathing harder. He twisted the blade and grinned, showing his fangs. I couldn't move. This can't be real. How do you feel? Kinda hungry. You got any more of those potatoes? I moved my lips, but no words escaped them. He wrenched the knife from Lawrence's shoulder and over his neck. Answer me! I forced myself, straining against the fear like a nightmare. I'm scared. Once the dam broke, the words flowed out of me. This is wrong. Can't you see he's in pain? I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want this. Ren laughed softly and looked at my health bar. It's really low. That's better. I closed my eyes and sighed in relief. That relief only lasted a second before I heard a muffled scream. I must have stopped breathing. I blacked out. Hey, Espoir. Where'd you get that jacket? You kinda dozed off there. He's changed clothes. How long was I... Oh, God. I clutched my head, remembering what happened. Are you still feeling upset? Did that really happen? Lawrence... Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Wink. You did such a good job. No. I tried to bring my knees to my chest. I was stopped by the sound of metal clinking. I whimpered as I realized I was chained up again. Aww. You're so sweet and gentle. I feel like I was breathing too fast. Hey. Don't panic now. He rested a hand on my shoulder. You're safe and sound, right where you belong. Low sanity option. I'm sorry, you're right. I lowered my head. I can't leave now. Not after what I... Don't worry, Espoir. We've got this whole house, plenty of money. I'll take really good care of you. He crooned softly as he ran fingers through my hair. Why don't we take it easy for the rest of the day? I looked up at him. For some reason, I wanted to cry. I got movies, and I can make popcorn. Oh, well, that's okay. That's just fine. That's hunky-dory. Let's watch Labyrinth and have some cheddar popcorn. He patted me before I could respond. Just sit tight. I sat there in stunned silence while Ren ran to the kitchen to make popcorn. He was humming softly. Eventually, the warm smell and sound of kernels giving in to the heat reached me. He yelled to me, What kind of movies do you like? 80s and early 90s fantasy movies? You got any anime in there? Oh wait, Ren actually does like anime. That is canon, that Ren actually is a weeaboo, so maybe we could get along. I don't know. Where's the anime button? Ren, can I get you hooked on Revolutionary Girl Utena? Well, the walkthrough says to say I don't know. He returned with the popcorn and began to rummage through a cabinet. I'm sure we have something good. Oh! I watched him pull out an unlabeled disc. I have a better idea. I hope it's not Strade's Home Movies. The thought of protesting was immediately replaced by the still too fresh memory of Lawrence's face. Sure. He drew the curtains and turned down the lights. This house is too nice for the Strade and Ren. Now, it's a little on the, He fiddled with the machine, trailing off and mumbling. I mean, I didn't really like them at first.
Aw, he's just sitting down like he's not a cute little murderer. Aw, sitting down all sweet like he didn't just gut somebody.
He got it working and flopped down beside me. but they really grew on me. He rubbed my leg. I'm sure you'll like them too. I flashed him a nervous, small smile and turned my attention to the TV. It looked like some sort of home video. Can't we watch Revolutionary Girl Uchina the movie? I squinted at the darkness before the room in the video suddenly brightened. It was a person, tied to a chair. I felt a bit sick, once again being forced to think of Is this a joke? Shh! He was smiling and crunching on a few kernels of popcorn. The person in the chair was clearly distressed, and their face was hidden under a bag. Another stranger appeared on screen. Did he look like a biscuit? It was hard to identify much about him since he was wearing a bandana over his face. The stocky man greeted the camera cheerfully. I could tell he was smiling, even though only his eyes were showing. My stomach turned as I felt more and more nervous. Ren continued watching, as if it was any other movie. Seriously, Ren, can we watch Spirited Away or something? I was about to ask who he was before the man on screen spoke again. Oh, you guys are pretty excited this morning. He seemed to be addressing something beside the camera. A laptop? He was reading something. No, we can't touch the eyes yet. How is she supposed to see us having fun first? Oh. Yeah, that's a better idea. You're a real gentleman, Wound Fluffer 88. Laughs in German. I curled into a ball. Something about the man's laugh sent a shiver down my spine. My fears were soon realized as he withdrew a large hunting knife. He touched the woman's hand, and I could hear whimpering inside the sack over her head. Her whimpering turned into a scream as he slammed the knife down, severing her pinky. Ow! What a jerk move, totally not Strade. I realized that the scream from the TV wasn't the only one in the room, and I clamped a hand over my mouth. Was that me? I turned to Ren, horrified to still see him completely relaxed. Walkthrough says to keep watching. My trance broke, and my eyes shot to Ren. Popcorn is mostly air, is it? This part makes me hungry. He patted my knee, and I stared, bewildered. I'll be right back. He skipped off towards the kitchen. Something small and quiet at the back of my head told me I didn't have to watch anymore. I let go of that something and turned my face back to the screen. I watched, dully. Then I felt Ren sit back down beside me. I turned my head, no longer afraid. Hey, what you got there, buddy? I highly doubt that's some cherry pie you got there. He clawed open a plastic-wrapped package of supermarket meat. Or meat products. Chicken hearts. Oh, okay. Those are very healthy, I think. Want one? Do you have any fried chicken livers? It felt so much better to not be afraid. Yes, please. He lit up and picked one out, then held it to my lips. Can't knock it till I try it. I accepted the small bloody organ and chewed it slowly. It was still cold from the fridge. Well? I was barely aware of the grisly scene on the TV anymore. I licked blood from my lips and nuzzled closer to him, feeling his tail wrap around me. Maybe it'd be better warm. Oh, you're absolutely right. He hugged me close. Aww. I knew. I never wanted to leave. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Well. Okay. That's some Stockholm Syndrome right there. You survived. You let Ren take care of you.
Okay.
Okay, this next ending is called You Got Nailed. I wonder what that entails. A gift from my new friend.
Thank you.
I felt that being polite was probably the best option. Well, you're so welcome. He paused and chewed his lip. Although, it's been a pretty long time, and I'm not sure if this still works. Works? What does it do? I had a feeling, but I wanted to be wrong. What could it possibly do? What else could it possibly do? Ah! Anyway, dinner's served. He held out a plate heaped in mashed potatoes and steak to me. I took it, eyes wide. Oh, he actually gave it to me on a plate. This looks really good. Well, looks don't mean much anyway. What matters is how it tastes. Oh, I forgot a fork. I'll be right back. Thank you? You're so polite. I really hit the jackpot. Well, lucky for you, I used to be a people pleaser. He practically skipped to the kitchen. He's in a great mood, at least. He came back quickly, beaming and holding out a fork. I took it quietly and looked down at my meal. It seemed awkward to eat in front of someone like this, but I was starving, and it smelled amazing. Everything else is wrong. I might as well enjoy this. I took a bite. Well, it's really good. It's really delicious. I tried not to sound surprised, though he seemed to relax just watching me dig in. I was so hungry that it was easy to temporarily forget about everything else. I cleaned my plate and finally looked back up. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. He took my plate and fork from me. I chewed my lip as he took them to the kitchen. This house is nice. I nestled into the comfy chair. And his cooking is so good. Maybe this isn't so bad. Aside from the chained-up ankle and being in the middle of nowhere and having a thing around your neck. I considered pulling my knees up to my chest while I waited. I lifted my foot slightly, hearing the clink of the chain, reminding me. Right. I looked up in time to see him returning. All right. He quickly wiped his hands on his shirt. Maybe it's best that we just get you settled in. Give you some time to adjust. Well, as he's undoing my chain, it says not to do anything, so his tail switched slowly as he started to relax. Okay, come with me. I'll show you to your room. My room? So when Ren leaves us alone, it says to explore the house and open the door under the stairs. I stared at the simple-looking door. There was something weird about it. The handle was strange. I turned it and heard a couple clicks. It's heavy. As I swung the door open, I saw that the other side was thick and metal. What the heck?
That's so ominous. That's so scary.
I fumbled for a light switch, and eventually a flickering light revealed stairs into a dark basement. Something about it was making me nervous.
Let's go down there.
I have to know what's down there. I stepped down the wooden stairs, creaking softly. It smells musty and coppery. I felt along the wall, looking for another light. There. Oh. I think I've already seen what's down here. I've already seen this part, but gee, I wonder what's in the freezer. I stared at my surroundings. It's nothing like the rest of the house. It feels old and used and lived in. Lived in. Strade just bypasses the nice bedroom he has and sleeps on the floor of the basement. I gulped and took an involuntary step back. The woodworking tools shone in a sinister way under the artificial basement light. All I could hear was the hum of a small fridge and a large freezer. My gaze locked on the deep freezer. More stains. I approach it. I was filled with an irrational need to open it.
Open it!
I placed my shaking hands on the lid and lifted. It opened with a suctioned crack. My eyes adjusted to the light. Oh, my sanity. Oh, looks like somebody really put Strade on ice. I know a lot of people do like Strade, but I do not like Strade because he was the very first character I encountered in these murder visual novel sims, and he beat my butt so bad that I hate him for it. I stumbled backwards, falling to the floor, while laughing maniacally. The lid of the freezer fell with a bang. No. He's a murderer. No, that's a murderer in the fridge there. I have to get out of here. I scrambled to my feet and ran up the stairs. I heard a door open and a loud thump. Ren! I looked around quickly. I should get back to the bedroom. Well, the walkthrough says to cut Lawrence, so I guess I'm gonna cut Lawrence. I don't have a choice. I stepped closer to Lawrence with the knife. I considered apologizing to him. But what would be the point? Go on. Do it slowly? Aw. I whimpered as I realized I was chained again. Aw, you're so sweet and gentle. Really, you gonna call me that after that last, encounter? I felt like I was breathing too fast. Hey, don't panic now. He rested a hand on my shoulder. You're safe and sound, right where you belong. I'm scared. You're scared? I've been so generous and kind. I've been coddling you. Of course this hasn't been working. Ren, I've been doing it wrong. Please, I'm sorry. Oh, you're not sorry yet. But you will be. Oh no! Ah! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I know this place. Welcome back to the world of the waking, Espoir. No, not again. Not again. The basement. And welcome to the shop. Ren breathed deep, seeming to smell the air around him. It's so alive down here. I backed up a step and ran into a large metal pole. I haven't tied you up yet. I glanced at the stairs. Because I want you to do something for me. Oh no! I bit my lip, eyeing the remote in his hand, waiting for the request. I want you to strip. But it's cold. What? Take your clothes off. Walk through. Walk through, what am I supposed to do? Well, it says do it. Says do it, let's do it to it. I looked down. It's not like I have a choice. I pulled off my shirt and pants quickly. I hesitated, with only a short glance at Ren before touching my underwear. I let out a defeated sigh and removed those too. I tried my best to cover myself awkwardly as he kicked the clothing further from me. Good. Now, sit. I shivered, not entirely from the cold basement floor on my bare feet. I slowly crouched and sat with my knees hugged close, my back against the pole. My bare booty's getting all scratched up from this dirty basement floor. Stay still. He moved behind me and gripped my arms, I squeaked a small protest, but he moved quickly. He yanked me behind the pole, and with a sharp, unmistakable noise of a zip tie, I was bound. There. Now you're all set up. I squirmed on the floor. It's cold. Please. Oh, hush. He played with the knife in his hands. This is a gift. He stepped closer. Sometimes lessons hurt, but you'll learn to appreciate them. I pulled my knees closer, curled as tightly as I could with my arms behind me. Put your legs down. I hesitated. Now. Oh, he's so cute when he's pouty. There's nothing I can do. I slid my feet forward, trembling. He crouched over my lap, his tail twitching excitedly. Before you kill me, I have one last request. Can I fondle your fluffy tail? He positioned the knife over my chest. I felt a small amount of relief seeing him move it sideways, getting ready to cut rather than stab. But the relief was short-lived once he sunk the blade in. I hissed in pain and grit my teeth. I wanted to shrink away from the knife, but the pain was making my chest heave. He held it firmly, and each breath made it cut deeper. Ow! I couldn't help but start to cry. He leaned back to admire his work. I slowly looked down with a whimper. Is that a... It's a heart. What? Oh, did he cut a heart into me? I could feel hot tears mixing with the blood on my chest. Do you like it?
Walk through? How am I supposed to choose my fate?
No, you're crazy.
Uh-oh.
Crazy? I was crazy once, and they put me in a room with rats, and rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They put me in a room with rats, and rats make me crazy. Crazy? You really think so? I pulled my knees back up. I haven't even gotten started yet. What? I tried to protest, but he was ignoring me and frowning at the knife in his hand. I need something. He turned and rummaged through the drawers. Oh! He brandished some sort of electric gun.
Wait, is this leading to the ending? No. That ending was that I got a new piercing. This ending is called I get nailed. What's the difference?
I always wanted to try this. He waved it slightly. A nail gun. I have no idea how it works. My throat felt dry. I couldn't stop staring. He pressed the tip to the wooden countertop and pulled the trigger.
Ah!
Whoa! He turned back to me, grinning. That's really scary. I choked out a small noise. Please.
Hey, at least it's not a drill or a hammer.
Please stop. My booty is cold. Why should I?
Well, the walkthrough says say nothing, so that's what I'm gonna do.
I couldn't think of anything I could do. See, there's nothing you can do about it. He pushed my knee back down with his foot and positioned the gun over my calf. No. I writhed uselessly as he pulled the trigger. Ouch! I screamed and slumped forward. Heh, that really works, huh? I looked up through my tears as he moved the tip of the gun up my leg a bit. I started to sob.
Quit it!
I jerked hard against my binding. I could feel the ties cutting into my wrists. He ignored my sobbing and screaming. He just slid the tool slowly up my leg.
Hey! Stop pinning up my delicious gams. Ow. 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 Okay. Okay. I think that's enough, Ren.
I was shaking. I couldn't think. I wasn't even screaming anymore. Come on, Espoir. You can't be worn out already. My wrists, my leg, everything hurts. I felt dizzy. Ah. My head fell forward. I always thought it was ridiculous how he'd get excited that quickly.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm fading.
He let out a strange laugh. I guess it's pretty easy to get carried away. His voice was sounding further away. It sounded like hissing static instead. Hey! Clawed fingers snapped in front of my face.
Ah! Come on, just let me pass out.
I snapped back to the present as I felt a nail pulled from my leg. You're bleeding and crying everywhere. He pulled another. We'll get you all cleaned up, huh? I felt sick. Don't worry.
Oh no, his special heart is there.
I've got much better self-control. My head fell forward again. Eventually, I felt him drag me somewhere with running water. You're not going anywhere.
Ah! You'll get to enjoy his self-control forever. Ugh. Yep, got nailed. What's next on our fun time list? Okay, looks like this ending has a little bit of revenge in it. It's called You Let Ren Bleed. Are you insane? What sane person picks up a person at a bar just to chain them to their house?
This is worse than leaving me outside. You can't just chain people up. This is kidnapping.
Tch. He reached into his back pocket for something. What are you gonna do with that? Shock me? Ah! I'm not an animal. You can shock me all you want. Chaining me up like... Jeez. Jeez, this version of the MC is coming for the throat. Chaining me up just makes you look like a little biscuit. A little buttermilk biscuit. Worth it! This time, it was a lot stronger. You mad, bro? Why you mad? What you mad for, bro? I could feel all of my muscles lock up as I dropped to the floor. I can make you sit. Forget you! Oh, he's so mad. Oh, he's so mad. Oh dear. Oh no, I made him mad. I spat the words in reply. You. Ugh. He reeled back to kick me in the chest. Why you mad, bro? Problem? Don't mock the murderers. Or do. I fell back a bit, but compared to that shock, it hardly hurt at all. He looked like he was struggling with what to do next. Oh, I forgot about dinner. I better go check on those potatoes. Yeah, so I guess I kick your potatoes, even though I really, really wanted to eat those. I looked him straight in the eye and kicked the dog bowl. What you gonna do about that? Alright, so after seeing our lovely new hotel room, check the rest of the house, explore the house, but this time go to the kitchen. I wandered into the kitchen. That is such a nice kitchen. I hate that Strade had such a nice kitchen. I am so mad that his kitchen is this nice. Look at that marbling. Look at that countertop. That is such a nice countertop. Look at that fridge. It's got an ice maker. I'm so mad. Is that a waffle maker? Make some homemade waffles. I've never owned a waffle maker, and Strade has a waffle maker. I'm so mad. It smelled faintly of Ren's cooking. I went straight to the drawers, neat and organized, like the rest of the house. There, I spotted a large knife. Take the knife? Yeah, take the knife. This ending isn't playing around. This ending, the MC in this ending isn't beating around the bush. I grabbed the knife. At least now I can defend myself. I looked back towards the living room. Now what? Check door under the stairs, go down and open the freezer. Well, we know what happens with that. So it says to cut Lawrence and do it slowly. Done and done. It's weird how quickly things can change, isn't it? I gulped hard. And why is he here now? Ren flashed me a fanged smile. Well, it looks like you already know. I looked at him in confusion, then looked down, following his gaze. The knife from the kitchen. I gasped loudly. I'd forgotten that I was holding it. I want us to share something really special, Espoir. You can't be serious. Alright, so I brought my own knife to the party. Well, it says to cut Lawrence and do it slowly. Hey, Espoir. Aw, he's not wearing his little shirt. You fell asleep. Why is his heart like that? Why is he all pitiful like this? What happened? I looked up blearily at Ren. And I've been thinking, you've been getting a little out of hand. Out of hand? I'm just not playing around this ending. What? I sat up straight. This little bastard thinks he's gonna shock me again? Look, it's for your own good. I saw him reach for the remote in his pocket. No. Without thinking, I leapt at him. We're not playing around this time. He barely managed to dodge me, ducking low. You may be a full-grown adult man, but I get pretty strong when I'm mad. We were both thrown off balance. He growled quietly and looked at the floor. You... He reached for... Hold on, I couldn't even find my mouse. You hold on a second. Do we get him? Yeah, check. Click the chain. Yeah, because you could use that big heavy chain as a weapon too. The chain, yeah. I saw him eyeing the chain at our feet and lunged for it myself. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I grabbed the chain and slammed it into his neck, pinning him down to the ground. He squirmed under me, trying to claw at me while I pressed the chain down harder. He couldn't claw hard enough to make me stop. I knew I couldn't let up. I kept pressing as he got weaker. Like I said, you may be a grown adult man, but I can mess you up when I'm mad. After one last desperate attempt to claw at me, he slumped down. I watched for a moment as his ear twitched. Ruffled his hair a little bit. He's out cold, but he's alive. Kill him? Aw, not unless the walkthrough tells me to. I think I'm supposed to take his remote. Yep. Take his remote. Gimme. All right, first things first. I leaned over his softly breathing body. I am taking this. Snatched it out of his pocket. I pulled the small remote from his pocket. I looked it over. Not complicated, but not labeled either. I sure as heck knew what the big red button did. The slider probably has something to do with the strength. I fiddled with the 2 remaining buttons, too fed up to be cautious. I felt a soft click. I reached up. Yeah! Oh! It's open. I grinned down at the open collar. Then I focused on Ren. So I know sparing him is one ending, but let's put it on him. I set out to not be playing around in this ending. I leaned down and clicked the collar closed around his neck. I couldn't help but smile at the feeling of victory it gave me. I sat back on the couch and relaxed. I played with the remote and put my feet up on the coffee table. I can't wait to see his face when... his heart's completely black now. Oh?
Ren stood slowly, clutching his head. He finally looked my way. He seemed to be remembering. I flashed him a triumphant grin as he noticed the collar on my neck was absent. He touched the collar on himself. Oh no! Oh yes! Oh yes! He cowered, seeing the remote in my hand. Now, unchain me. Okay. He shuffled awkwardly and retrieved a small key. He then bent down to unlock the shackle around my ankle. It fell to the floor with a soft thump. What are we doing next? Well, looks like we're testing out that remote. I played with the remote in my hand. Ren saw it too and took a step back. Let's see how this works. Aww. Oh, but really, Ren, you're a grown adult man. Don't start nothing. Won't be nothing. You brought this upon yourself. We could have had meat and potatoes and watched Revolutionary Girl Uta the movie together, but no. He whimpered and shrank back from me. How does that feel? It hurts. Heh. He sniffled and wiped his face. Aww. But then again, all he has to do is whimper a little bit, and I'm like, oh, little baby, aww. I'm sorry. His voice was sounding desperate. I shouldn't have pushed you like that. Let me reassure him, please. Please, this is starting to hurt now. No. The walkthrough says to threaten him. Oh. You're sorry now. I leant back. Now that the collar's on your neck, you're not that sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot what this ending was called. Yet. I watched him begin to tremble. What are you gonna do to me? What do you want? Obedience? Sex? Blood? What do I want? Blood? Alright, looks like we're getting blood. Blood? What do you mean? Oh, I think you know what I mean, Ren. I looked to the side. I think we should go to the basement. I looked back to him to see he'd gone completely still. I could probably lift him up and put him over my shoulder, and I'm 5'1". Actually, me and Ren are probably the same height. I'm short too. How do you... You think I didn't see down there? I narrowed my eyes at him. I saw your dirty little secret down there, too. He looked terrified. I couldn't help but feel a bit of elation watching him squirm. I raised the remote. Now! I'm not going back down there. Aww. He was panting and trembling. Don't make me do it twice, Ren. He whimpered and turned to walk towards the stairs. I got up to follow and watch him walk silently, slouching in front of me. He paused on the stairs, and I nudged him forward. Please. Sit. He kept whimpering, softly, and obeyed. I looked around the basement for something to tie him. I easily found some rope and tied his limbs behind the pole in the middle of the basement. Judging by the stains, he wasn't the first person who sat here. Aww. I looked down at him. He's still crying. I want to soothe the boy, but no. Must remain strong. Must follow the walkthrough. Oh, I do get to soothe him. Okay. I reached down to pet his hair and ears. He was shaking. Shh. It's okay. Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. I stood and stroked his hair patiently. Eventually, his sobbing turned to sniffling.
Oh.
I can feel the espoir in me trying to fight her way up, but no. We're being evil. We're being, well, not evil, because, he kind of started it. But no, we're being forceful for this ending. I could tell he wasn't really convinced, but he became quieter. I stood up straight. Now that you're settled, I looked around the musty basement. So many tools. Everything looked like it would hurt. There's too much to pick from down here. I looked over the walls and through cupboards. Saws, hammers, axes, knives. I chuckled softly as I spotted a pair of well-worn black leather gloves. I like these. I rummaged through drawers and eventually narrowed it down to 2. Let Ren choose, as the walkthrough says. I looked over my choices. A heavy, powered nail gun, or I turned over a knife I had found in a drawer. I admired the glint of my reflection in it for a moment before facing Ren. Oh no, well at least I didn't grab a hammer. You know what, I'm surprised I didn't. What do you think, Ren? I held up both options for him to see. He looked at the nail gun, seeming to need a moment to figure out what it was. Then his gaze settled on the knife, and he stopped breathing for a moment. His eyes were wide, as if he'd seen a ghost. Is that Strade's knife? Come on, Ren. He snapped back to reality. If you can't choose, I'll use both. The knife. Speak up. The knife. Oh. He looked back down and trembled. Good choice. I wanted to be closer to him. I crouched down and held the knife where he could see it. I looked over his arms and legs. You've got an awful lot of scars. I saw more tears roll down his cheeks. Is that why you're so worried about this? I wiggled the knife. He curled up as much as he could. Oh, I know you're a horrible, sadistic murderer, but oh. Hey! I grabbed his hair and pulled his head back up, eliciting a yelp. I asked you a question. Yes. That knife. It's been used on you before? He nodded once. By who? His eyes flickered towards the freezer. Him? That loser? Better cut that out, I'm starting to like it. Well, I pressed the knife against his cheek. I'm not going to end up like that freezer burnt biscuit. I dragged the knife lightly over the mark on his face. I grinned approvingly at the 2 shades of red. Please. Shh. I grabbed his ankle and pulled his bare leg straight. Aww. I plunged the blade into the meat of his upper thigh. He screamed, and blood began to drip from the wound. I was suddenly overcome with a strange feeling of jealousy. What? These other marks weren't made by me. I held down his leg and pulled the sharp edge through an old scar. Aww. He screamed and writhed under my grip. But your blood is mine now. He began to shiver quietly. Ren? He didn't respond. I pressed the tip of the knife into his flesh again. Ren! Nothing. I checked for his pulse. He's alive, but I looked at all of the blood gathering on the floor. I don't think he can take any more. Well, I'm only doing this for the ending.
Let him bleed. I stared at the blood. There's only one way to make him really mine. Forever. His ears twitched as he slowly raised his head. He looked at me, almost completely broken. Please. It looked like every word was a monumental struggle to him. Help me. I looked down at him. And I didn't do anything. Don't start nothing. Won't be nothing. But I feel really, really bad about it. You survived. You let Ren bleed. Alright, what happens if I patch him up? I don't know what ending that leads to, but I want to help the boy. I took a deep breath. I can't just let him die like this. I put the knife down. Then I'll never get to replace all of his scars. I didn't have to search hard to find medical supplies. I disinfected and cleaned his cuts. I retrieved a needle and thread from the supplies. Some of these are pretty deep, huh? I asked him sheepishly and received no response. I shrugged and got back to work. Carefully, I sewed his larger gashes up. It was sort of relaxing. He kept shivering, but he didn't make a sound. We did share something special. Hey, 'cause that's what you said to me when you wanted me to cut Lawrence. I held his chin up so you could see me. I understand what you meant now. I wrapped gauze over his limbs. Do you want to go back upstairs now? He looked at me and nodded slowly. I put an arm around him and helped him up. I'm glad you found me, Ren. I gave him a little squeeze as I pulled him up the stairs. We're going to have so much fun together. Tee-hee-hee. You replaced a few of Ren's scars. Aww. A few? Okay, what if I'm slightly nicer to the boy? What if I thank him? Thank him for, doing what I tell him, or else I'll shock him. Thank you, Ren. I appreciate it. He seemed surprised, but he appeared to relax a tiny bit. You're welcome. It's okay, baby. It's okay. We're gonna work this out. I can't promise that nothing bad will happen to you, though. Hey. It's okay. He looked at me cautiously. I accept your apology. He started to look hopeful. What are you gonna do to me? What do you want? Ooh. Love? Aww. What happens if I ask him for love? What? I want the same thing you want. I lowered the remote. I just want someone to be with. I had trouble thinking of the right words. You want to be with me? Aw, yes. You don't need to shock me or chain me, Ren. I said at the beginning, if you want friends, all you gotta do is ask, fam. I like you. And I want to get to know you better. Aww. He jumped at me, and I yelped in surprise. Thank you. I won't let you down. I stayed with him that night. I didn't see any reason to leave. You stayed with Ren. Aww. I stayed with Ren, and we became friends, and then the price of flesh never ever happened.